guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Katie and welcome to another Bookish adventure. And welcome to another weekly reading vlog. And it is week 2 of being on furlough and I am so bored. Oh my god, I can't believe it is only my 2nd week of being on furlough. I should hopefully, I'm meant to be getting a phone call, I think, tomorrow when I had the initial phone call when they told me what was happening. They said that every 2 weeks was the aim to just get back in contact with us all, see how we're all doing, check if we've lost our minds, and just to let us know any updates as to what's happening. So that happened on a Friday 2 weeks ago. So I assume that I will get a phone call possibly Friday, maybe Saturday, who knows. But I mean, I haven't heard any rumours of going back. I haven't really heard anything, so who knows. I personally think we'll at least definitely be off the whole of May. Maybe we'll go back in June, but I feel like I don't think we'll go back to work any sooner than that. I definitely think we'll at least have May off, but who knows. At least the weather's nice, I guess. At least I can go out for my walk. I'm trying to stay on positives here. So let's talk books. So I'm continuing the 2 books from my last weekly reading vlog, which is the Grimm Legacies by Polly Shulman and The Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, which you can barely see because it is white and silver. How super helpful. So with The Northern Lights, I am somewhere in chapter 12, and I had a look in the contents, and chapter 12 starts on page 204. I think that's what it was. I've literally just looked, I can't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it said 204. Well, yeah, 204. So I'm in the 2nd part. I'm in part 2 of the first books, and they are now in the north. They're on their way to try and find these taken children and the missing Lord Asriel. We have met the polar bear. I'm so excited. I was kind of wondering that as I was listening and whilst I was reading it, I was wondering whether anything of the film would come back to me, if any of it would be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Nothing. As a memory, or whatever memories I have of that film, which is very little, to be honest, I have no reference. I have nothing. I am enjoying it. I like the writing style. It appeals to me. It's really nice. It's a bit like Lemony Snicket's books, Serial Unfortunate Events. You're not talked down to, because obviously Lyra is quite a young child. I get what people say now when they say that, some people are like, this is kids literature, some people like it's kind of like Harry Potter where it's children's literature, but also for a mature audience. I get how people can say that you can't pigeonhole a genre for it, or an age group for it. That's the one, not genre, age group, because of that. And the writing style is very similar in the sense of, because it's no way similar to Lemony Snicket's, but in the sense of it doesn't talk down to children. It is just matter of fact. It explains it all, because obviously, Serious Fortune Events deals with some very dark subject matter, kidnapping and murder being a prominent one, and this book is no different. It is dealing with the kidnapping of children for whatever dark and mysterious reasons, and it is handled in a way that I would expect any book that I've been reading, for normal ages, people who understand what death and terror is. Yeah, there is no talking down to children, which I really like and I really appreciate. And obviously I am assuming that the subject matter is going to get more complicated and more complex as we go. I feel like there could be quite a heavy science feel to it, quite possibly. I'm really glad I finally decided to pick these up. Hopefully I can get this done by the end of this week's weekly reading vlog. That will be great, but part of me is also I want to drag it out for as long as possible because I'm really enjoying listening to it as well. So my other book, The Grimm Legacies, I feel like I did a very bad job last week. At the end of last week I got very distracted trying to open stuff and talk at the same time. It is it's kind of kids literature. It's very interesting depending on where you look at it. Some places say kids literature, some places don't. I would definitely say it's more kids literature, but the writing isn't too childlike or too teenagey, I guess is the best way to kind of describe it. I'm not very good. But it is about a young girl, Elizabeth, who works in this repository, which is a library but for objects, and there is the magical section and there is non-magical section, and we have the Grimm section, which is artifacts and objects collected by the Brothers Grimm, potentially items that have influenced their stories, and actual objects that are real and mean the stories are real. So in this, objects are disappearing and they have been appearing in private sellers' collections, and there is a mysterious bird which may or may not be taking people and objects, so we will see. I am currently on page 126, so I'm nearing halfway. I'm quite close to halfway. I've only been reading this for a few days, so I've gone quite far in it actually. That's because I haven't been sleeping. And so yeah, she fully works there at the repository. She has learnt more about the magical side of objects and the Grimm section of it. So now I think the plot is now going to be more based on what the hell this bird is, and tracking down and finding whoever is stealing the objects for whatever reasons. I don't think it's going to be for any like dark world ending reasons. It doesn't come across like that. I think because each 3 books, from what I've read of the summaries of all 3 books, they are standalones set within the same repository. I don't think Elizabeth is in the next one. I can't really remember, but I feel like each of them are standalones, but they're just within the same world. I don't think it's going to be some major kind of like life-threatening plot. I just think it is a case of objects are being stolen to be like sold on the black market or whatever, because like that question has been thrown up. If you have this place full of magical objects, why aren't people using them to take over the world? And they just really cleverly put down the idea, well, the technology nowadays is amazing, and you know, okay, so what, you have a cool sword that could like cut through anything, you have guns. It's really cleverly balanced out with logic that although yeah, these items could be cool, matter like, and you think about it, really the use of them actually to help some evil mad genius to take over the world, very slim. So yeah, hopefully I will get both of these done by the end of next week. I definitely will with the Grimm Legacies. We will see with Northern Lights. I haven't been physically reading this book as much. I have been listening to it more, and I think that is just because I want to eke out the magicness of it, if I'm honest. But I probably will try and start to pick it up a bit more. I'm going to read some more of the Grimm Legacies before dinner, and then this evening I will read some more of the Northern Lights as well. I'm going to head off now. I'm currently in the middle of watching Smallville, the 4th series. I like to just come back to random things. I am having the best time of my life though, because I forgot how long ago this was on, so all the music is like, okay, we're reliving my teenage years. I've just been like belting along to Green Day, so I'm having the best time ever. I know you will find that I watch some of the most randomest things, and like I won't come back to something for ages. I can't watch something straight from like start to finish. I get bored. So I literally yesterday finished the 4th, I think 4th or 5th, 4th series of Orange is the New Black, and now I'm like, okay, Smallville. I can't do it. If I watch it like bam bam, I'll just get bored and I will stop paying attention. So in a year's time I'll come back to it. Hey guys, so I've just been for my walk and done a little online exercise class. So on Saturday evening I finished the Grimm Legacy. I can never quite remember what the hell that book is called. It was an okay book. Like I said, I wasn't predicting anything amazing from it. I didn't have any high expectations. I just wanted an easy read. So I gave it 3 stars. It is a pretty solid read. Like, it's fine. It did the job. At times the like the dialogue was a little bit so it was a little hit and miss in like that respect, but otherwise it was completely fine. And it is just really handy for when I just want a standalone book that isn't particularly like too taxing. So at some point I will pick up the second book when I just feel like a bit of a break from sort of heavy plot wise books. So to replace it, I'm going to be reading The Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett. So this is the second book in the Death collection, and I think this is like the 11th book in the Discard series, something like that. So I don't actually know much about the story other than that death has gone, pretty much. The blurbs on these books are, as you can see, absolutely tiny, and it's the same on Goodreads. I'm sure if I looked up another edition I would find more of a synopsis, but I'm quite happy not really knowing. But yeah, death is gone and he's missing, which is weird because in the last book he kind of came back. He sort of had like a little moment of wanting to be human whilst Mort was learning the trade, but he came back. So it'd be interesting to see why he's gone now. I think this does involve like more another person. I think that was this one, I can't really remember, but I'm gonna pick this one up possibly tonight. I need to wash my hair at some point today once food shopping is done, so I'll either pick this up tonight or I will start reading it tomorrow. And then The Northern Lights, I'm currently on chapter 17, so let me just quickly find where the hell that is. So The Witches, chapter 17, that is 279. I can't actually remember how many pages I said this book was. Okay, ignoring the back bit, which is the next book. 397 pages, so I'm nearly done. I have spent most of my time listening to this book. This week I want to try and actually read more of it physically. I keep meaning to read in bed. Last week I was quite tired and I've actually kind of been sleeping. It seems very hit and miss. By the time I hit the weekend I'm not sleeping again, so yay. So I want to try and read some more of The Northern Lights because I haven't just read it, I've just been listening to to it, and to listen to it's really great, but actually to read, I don't know what it's like. I have only read a very small portion of it, but I am enjoying it. Like I said, it's been very unpredictable. I had thoughts of how I thought it was going to go just from bits that I knew, and once I started with the story, I obviously had an assumption of how I thought it was going to go, and that has been completely different. Lyra's story has just, and the expedition has just gone completely not how I thought it would be, so it's been pretty like, oh okay, I have no idea what's happening, but I am really enjoying it. But yeah, I just want to try and actually read some more of it. So for the rest of the day, I'm just going to sort of wait till mum gets back and we'll have lunch and then food shopping. That's pretty much it. I really got to wash my hair. But yeah, I'm just going to chill out. I've got the rest of the second series of The Magicians to watch, so I'm going to try and finish that today, or as much as I can. But yeah, just the usual nothingness of my days. Hey guys, how are you doing? So I'm just going to really quickly make some lunch, and I thought I would discuss where I'm at with my 2 books. So I'm going to make some porridge because I had carbonara for breakfast, but it's fine. I went for my walk and I decided that I was gonna start jogging again, so we're gonna see if this is a good idea. Anyway, okay, so first I need to grab some protein powder. So I am on page 342. I'm somewhere around there, and that's where chapter 20 is, and I'm somewhere within chapter 20. I'm quite close to the end now. I'm sort of nearly there. I'll get it done in the next few days. Like I said before, you know, I had no clue where this was gonna go, and it has gone completely. Just any thoughts I may have had about it, I'm just like, oh okay, like we're doing this, like it's just gone completely how I just didn't think it would. A lot of interesting things have been brought up, to things like dust and this city in the lights in the Aurora Borealis. There are a lot of unanswered questions in regard to that, and sort of where the story is going to continue on going in the next 2 books. As for Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett, I'm currently on page, oh shit, might have got a little bit carried away with the oats there. Yeah, Reaper Man. I think I had this when I started reading more. It kind of just doesn't make any sense. It's really weird and kind of confusing. But then as it goes on, you kind of get the gist of the story. So the story's being told in a couple of viewpoints. Obviously you've got Death. It doesn't really seem like Death is the main voice. It's really weird. So the decision has kind of been made that Death may need to be replaced, and he one day finds his, oh, should we have chocolate porridge? Let's have chocolate porridge. The decision gets made that there should be a new one, and one day he finds an hourglass with his name on it. And now that he has suddenly found this, he's like, oh okay, well now I have time to go off and do stuff. So because Death has now made this decision, an old wizard who was about to die, who knew he was about to die because wizards know these things, he was getting ready to go and to croak it, and he did. He died, and he was waiting for Death and was like, hello, is anyone gonna come get me? And of course no one did, so he ended up just going back to his body. It reminds me a lot of the Family Guy episode where Death like twists his ankle or something, and he just gets Peter to pretend that he's him, and then obviously people realise that they can't die, and like they're hitting each other and killing each other and jumping off buildings. It reminds me of that. So in the first book we had the what happens when you save someone who's meant to die, and in this one it's a case of, well, what happens when someone dies but then isn't shown the right way to go. So he's just gone back to his body. Add in some water and give it a stir. Yeah, considering how odd his books are, and like the general just plot is kind of just happening, they are still very funny, and you still somehow know what is going on. The lid on and whack that in the microwave for 2 minutes. Yeah, I definitely had the same feeling when I read Mort for the first time. It was just that kind of weird, unsure what was going on sort of thing to it. So I guess it's just kind of getting used to that really, really different writing style. Going forward, I'm guessing it's going to be a lot more people experiencing the same thing as Wendell, that okay, so he's come back to his body, and obviously his body is dead. It's not suddenly like, oh cool, like I'm alive, like he looks dead. The other wizards are currently freaking out because they're like, well, he's some weird undead thing, like what the hell. They have tried to bury him because they're just like, it'll be fine once he's buried, it'll totally be cool. And they're trying all the things that they have heard that should work, like garlic works for vampires. We haven't really seen where Death has like gone or what he's doing. He's just saddled up his horse and he's just gone. So I'm kind of hoping that he's going to have a bit more of a prominent voice in this, because considering it's about him going and obviously now he has time to do stuff. Not really in it. So hopefully in next week's reading vlog I will just have a bit more of an idea of actually what the hell is meant to be happening and where the story is going to go, because obviously the concern will be people will realise that, well, they die but then they can go back to their bodies, then what happens? Just a furlough update very quickly. I never heard from anyone from work, so we are continuing. Obviously Boris did his weird little, you can go outside but don't go outside, but go to work but don't go to work, but go on public transport but be alert but stay at home little speech, and no one really knows what the hell is going on. But yeah, so we're just trying to keep myself going and just not fall apart. This is the aim. I like to add a little bit of honey because I have the sweetest tooth ever, and also that powder is like proper dark chocolates. It is really quite bitter, so yeah, I need all the sweetness I can get. Oh, look at that chocolatey goodness. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button and comment below. If you're new, then hit the subscribe button, and don't forget ding the bell to never miss a video. I will see you on Monday for another video. Have a great weekend guys, and stay safe.